welcome to another episode of our monthly Facebook Live. My name is Ohinoa, and today we are here with a new topic to discuss. If you are here with us, I would encourage you to forward the link to your other colleagues to join in. And also remember that there's a link tree attached to the live that you can click on and have access to our other social media platforms as well as our website. You can share the link with your colleagues so that they can join in and we can all have a discussion. If you have any questions from the previous episodes that you want to ask or you want clarity on anything aside today's topic, you can equally share it in the comment section and I'll do all to read them and answer them as well. So last month we spoke about retirement benefits. So we'll do just a brief recap on what we spoke about last month, which is retirement benefits. So basically what we spoke about was that you can only make a claim, you can only take your money from tier 2 when you retire. And in Ghana, the retirement age, the voluntary retirement age is 55 years and above, and the compulsory retirement age is 60 years. Now, when you attain these ages, it's only when you can make a claim to GSOS or at GSOS and have access to your funds. And when you retire, all you need to do is pick a claim form from a GES office, any glyco pension office, WhatsApp us, email us, we'll send you the form. Then you attach your retirement letter, SNIT payment advice, and any valid national ID card. And most importantly, attach a slip from your checkbook if you are not sure of your bank details that you've written, and scan them and forward them to our email or WhatsApp, or you can send them to any glyco pension office and we'll do all to pay your money. It takes a maximum of 90 days. It takes a maximum of 90 days for you to get your money. So basically that's what we spoke about last month on the topic retirement benefit. And we also said that you can only take your money when you retire. You can only take your money when you retire. So I would like that we take note of that as well. So today's topic is beneficiary or survivor's benefits. Beneficiary withdrawal or survivor's benefits. So when we talk about beneficiary withdrawal or survivor's benefits, what we are basically talking about is that in case a contributor who is an active GES member passes away, who has access to their money? It is only the listed beneficiaries or those the court gives us permission to pay to. Those are the beneficiaries or the survivors. So the amount of money that they come to claim is what we call the survivor's benefit. The money that they come to claim is what we call the survivor's benefit. Now, if you can remember, in our previous episodes, I spoke about the fact that you can only make withdrawal when you retire. You can pot out your money when you leave the scheme, or in an unfortunate event when you pass away, we can pay your money to your beneficiaries. We can pay your money to your beneficiaries. Now, the question is that when can the claim be made? When can the claim be made? It is only when an active member passes away. An active member in the sense that you were with GES and you are contributing towards your tier 2 and you've passed away. So your funds that you've left behind can be paid to your listed beneficiaries or those the court has given us permission to pay your money to. Those the court has given us permission to pay your money to. So who are the people that you've listed? Now you can list your beneficiaries. If you haven't listed your beneficiaries yet, in any financial institution, especially places where monies are involved, you have to list your beneficiaries. You have to list or next of kin, which is the people that will have access to your funds in case you are no more. Now, with tier 2, which is GSOS, for all GES staff, all you have to do is to pick an enrollment form. You pick an enrollment form, list beneficiaries. We have an episode on how to list beneficiaries. Our advisor will go back to it, but for the sake of this presentation, I'll do a quick recap on that. You pick an enrollment form, list your beneficiaries. So there's no age limit as to the people that you list as beneficiaries. After you've listed your beneficiaries, you have it endorsed by your supervisor, then you submit it to us by scanning it or sending it to any of the Glyco pension offices across the country. Now, when you've done that, and in an unfortunate event you pass away, all your beneficiaries need to do is to pick a beneficiary withdrawal form. They complete the form. After they've completed the form, and by completing the form, they have to fill in with the names of the people that you listed as beneficiaries. This list, they can get it from us. When they contact us, we will give them the list of people that you as a member listed as beneficiaries. When they get the list, the people that you listed as beneficiaries are the people that will complete the form. And when they complete the form, they write their names, they write their phone numbers, they write their bank details. Now when they write their bank details, after which they have to go to the GES director or the head teacher, which is your former supervisor. It could be your head teacher, it could be your circuit supervisor, it could be your GES director, it could be your HR, any of them, especially for the TEU members, your HR or your TEU administrator can endorse the form for them. Now, after they've completed the beneficiary withdrawal form, they need to attach a letter from GES. They need to attach a letter from GES indicating that such member has passed away. Then they need to attach a proof of death. Now, proof of death comes in so many folds. One, we have the medical report, burial permit, death certificate, mortuary receipt. All of these, your beneficiaries can use any of them. You don't need to bring all of these proof of death. All you need is just one. It could be the medical report, it could be burial permit, it could be mortuary receipt, it could be the medical report. Now, for the case of Muslims, you need a police report reporting that the person has passed away. You need a police report and a sworn affidavit from your imam. A sworn affidavit from your imam. So you need those two things. You need a police report. A police report, because when a person passes away in Ghana, it is legally mandated that you report the case to the police. So you need a police report as well as a sworn affidavit from your imam as a proof of death. They will need the ID cards of all the beneficiaries listed, not the deceased person, but all the beneficiaries listed. They will need the SNIT payment advice. It's a receipt that SNIT gives to you after they've paid you a certain amount of money. So it's called the SNIT payment advice. When you go to any SNIT office and request for a payment advice, they'll give it to you. Now, there's something called the consent letter. The consent letter is only needed when all the beneficiaries listed decide that they want the money to be paid into one bank account. It is not compulsory to do that. If beneficiaries are listed, the person who listed the beneficiaries allotted percentages to each beneficiary. So for instance, maybe Mr. Mensah listed Kofi, Ama, and Kweku as his beneficiaries. Now he gave Kweku 10%, he gave Ama 50%, and gave Kofi 40%. Now, in an unfortunate event when Mr. Mensah passes away, what happens is that Kofi will get 10% of the money left behind, Ama will get the 40%, and Kwame will get the 50%. But they can all come together and say that we want the total sum or the total lump of money to be paid into one account. So that's when a consent letter comes in. But if they do not want it that way, they don't need to write a joint letter or a consent letter. This can only happen when you've listed beneficiaries. Now, if you do not list beneficiaries, the story is different. If you do not list beneficiaries, what happens is that you would have to go to court and get a letter of administration. Now, for those of you who have gone to court for a letter of administration, you can agree with me that it is not cheap and it's not an easy thing to get. Now, you have to go to court and get a letter of administration. You need to get an affidavit, a sworn affidavit from the head of family, indicating that the people listed in the LA or letter of administration are all the family members of the said deceased, or some people have not been left behind. For instance, maybe the man had 2 or 3 wives and had children with said wives. Now, when they go for the letter of administration, maybe one wife might go with just her children for the letter of administration, but a sworn affidavit from the head of family might indicate that the man had 3 wives and extra children from elsewhere or with his other wives. That is the only way that we can know that all the people have been captured. So our advice again, that if you have not listed beneficiaries, it is easier when you list beneficiaries, but if not, and you do not, then we'll have to get a letter of administration and a sworn affidavit from the head of family indicating that all the people who are your immediate family, especially your wife or your husband and your children, or if you are not married, your mother or your father or your siblings, are listed in the beneficiary list, and no one is left behind. So if you have not listed beneficiaries, you need a proof of death as well. You need a letter from GES. You need a SNIT payment advice, an ID card of all the beneficiaries that the letter of administration indicates. Now, when you are filling the form with the letter of administration, only the people whose names are in the letter of administration are supposed to fill the form and sign. Only the people whose names are in the letter of administration, which is given by the courts, are supposed to fill the form and sign. If your name is not in the letter of administration and you fill the form, you will not be paid any money. Payments are only made to the people whose names are in the letter of administration. But I'll also advise again that please list your beneficiaries if you have not done that already. And if you have done that and you haven't updated it, you can go on and update it anytime you want. But bear in mind that in an unfortunate event when you pass away, we will use the recent most beneficiaries that you listed. The recent most one. If you have any questions along the line, you can do well to type it in our comment section, and I'll do well to read them and answer them as I go on. Now, one of the questions that we keep on getting is that, can I view my beneficiaries and know who I have in case I need to update them? Yes, you can view your beneficiaries anytime you want to. All you need to do is to log on to our website, which it can be found in the link tree on the live. You can find us on the link tree. When you click on the link tree, it will lead you to our website. You can equally dial *365 *65 hash, which is our USSD. You can equally dial *365 *65 hash, which is our USSD, and view your beneficiaries as well. Now, when you view it and there are any mistakes or you want to update it, kindly contact our office. We'll do all to assist you on that. Another question that we keep on getting is that how long does it take for payment to be made when you make a beneficiary withdrawal claim? It takes a maximum of 90 days. It takes a maximum of 90 days. When you make a claim and everything is okay, it goes through a process of validation and processing. After all validation and processes are done and there are no problems or mistakes, we go on and make payment. But when there are certain mistakes such as bank details and others, we have to get back to you for you to make the necessary corrections before we can make payment. Now, another thing, if you do not list beneficiaries and you come with a court, your beneficiaries come with an LA or letter of administration or a court order, they would have to come with a joint letter or a consent letter indicating that we pay the full sum of money into one bank account. We have to pay the full sum of money into one bank account, which is because the letter of administration does not come with percentage allotment. It does not come with percentages. So we don't know how much to pay, what percentage to pay to person A and what percentage to pay to person B. So we'd have to pay the full amount of money into one bank account. So all the people listed in the letter of administration has to come together and agree that payment should be made to one bank account. So it's a simple letter. You write we, then the names of the people listed in the letter of administration, we agree that payments should be made to Mr. So and so or Mrs. So and so with bank details X, Y, and Z. Then all the people listed in the affidavit or letter of administration will sign as well. You attach the letter of consent or joint letter and send it to us so that we know who we are paying the money to. Now, another question we get also is that, will the money be paid monthly or will be paid as a lump sum? Now, when it comes to beneficiary withdrawal, the money is paid as a lump sum. It's just a one-time payment. We don't do monthly payments. It's only a one-time payment. Tier 2 in itself is a lump sum payment. It's not a month-on-month. It's only a one-time payment. And we cannot readily tell you how much each beneficiary will make, because sometimes some people will ask that how much will each beneficiary take home. The amount of money each beneficiary will take home is dependent on the amount of money the deceased person left behind, as well as the percentage the deceased person allotted to each beneficiary. So if the deceased person left behind a certain amount of money and allocated maybe 20% to his son, then his son gets 20% of the amount of money he left behind as a GES staff. So we can't readily tell you that you get maybe 20,000 Ghana cedis or 10,000 Ghana cedis or 5,000 Ghana cedis. No, it's dependent on how much the person left behind and how much and what percentage they allotted to you as a beneficiary. What percentage they allotted to you as a beneficiary. Also, when it comes to the court order, when it comes to the letter of administration, that we have no idea what percentage each person needs to take. That's why we ask for a joint letter, which I explained. That's why we ask for a joint letter, because there are no percentages allocated to each member. Now, also another question that we also get is that when you list a minor as a beneficiary and you pass away, what happens to the minor? Because the Ghana laws does not allow a minor to make a claim, to make a money claim. Now, there are two options available to the minor. It's either the minor would have to wait till they are 18 years, whilst the money is reinvested. When they attain the age of 18, they can make a claim. That's one option. The other option is that the guardian of the said minor, which could be the mother or the father or a sibling or another family member or any other person who is legally the guardian of the child or the minor, would have to get a letter of administration or an affidavit indicating that they are the legal guardian of the said child. Come with a letter and we pay the amount of money into the account or bank account of the guardian. So those are the two options available to the minor. Those are the two options available to the minor. There's a question here. Can the list of beneficiaries be done online on GSOF's website or otherwise? Now, you can't list your beneficiaries online. You can't list your beneficiaries online. The only thing you can do is to get a form online, fill it, list your beneficiaries and have it endorsed by your supervisor. The reason why you can't fill it online is that it needs to be endorsed by your supervisor. It needs to be endorsed by your supervisor. So if you're a classroom teacher, your head teacher can endorse it for you. Head teacher, a CISO can endorse it for you. CISO, your director can endorse it for you, or your HR can endorse it for you. For the TEU members, any of these people can endorse it for you, or the TEU administrator or the HR or president can endorse it for you as well. So you cannot list your beneficiaries online. However, you can submit them online. You can scan it and WhatsApp it to us or email it to us, and we'll work on it for you. If you have any other questions, you can type it in the comment section and I'll do well to answer them for you. Another question is that, will we pay using the beneficiaries listed with SNIT? Will we pay beneficiaries using the beneficiaries, the deceased member listed with SNIT? No, we will not do that. We only pay to the beneficiaries listed at GSOF or the letter of administration from the court, which is the reason why we don't use listed beneficiaries as SNIT is that SNIT is a different entity from GSOPs. We don't share data. So data protection in Ghana does not allow SNIT to share the beneficiaries we've listed with them with GSOPs. Neither can GSOPs share the beneficiaries we've listed here with SNIT. It's like having two account details, different banks, and listing next of kin for each bank. Maybe EcoBank and GCB. EcoBank cannot give your details to GCB, neither can GCB give your details to EcoBank. You would have to list beneficiaries with each of the banks. You'd have to list beneficiaries with each of the banks. And another question too is that will beneficiaries benefit from the scheme? Will my beneficiaries benefit from the scheme after I retire and claim my tier 2 benefits? No. Now, as I said before, when it comes to tier 2, you are paid a lump sum, which is a one-time payment. It's a one-time payment. So after you've been paid, you no longer have funds with the tier 2 scheme. So in an unfortunate event when you pass away, there will be no funds to be paid to your beneficiaries. But if you retire and do not make a claim, but pass away before making the claim, your beneficiaries are entitled to your funds. But if you make a claim, you would have no funds here for your beneficiaries to benefit from. However, when it comes to SNIT, when you pass away before the age of 75, your beneficiaries are entitled to a certain amount of money, so they can go to SNIT for said payment to be made. But when it comes to tier 2, if you make a claim after you've retired, there will be no more funds for you or your beneficiaries. There will be no more funds for you or your beneficiaries. Now, a question here says that do we have an office in Takoradi? GSOPS has only one branch for now in Accra. We only have one branch for now in Accra, and it's at Airport City. However, you don't need to travel all the way from wherever you are to Accra to make an enquiry or to make a submission of documents or anything. You can visit any Glyco pension office in these regions. You can visit any Glyco pension office. So in Takoradi, you can visit any Glyco pension office over there, and they'll be able to assist you. Anything you want to do here in the GSOPS office, at the GSOPS office in Accra, you can equally do same at the Glyco pension office. Please, specifically Glyco pension office in Takoradi or anywhere that you find yourself. Specifically, you don't need to travel all the way. You can equally use our platforms, our WhatsApp platform, email, or our portal, and we'll do all to assist you. You can equally use all those platforms, and we'll do all to assist you. Now, I'll do a recap of what I've said so far, and also bear in mind that this video will be saved on our page. So if you are not able to join in today, you can click on the link later on and have access to the video, and you can still ask your questions, and we'll do all to answer them even when the video has ended. So basically, what I've spoken about so far is beneficiary or survivor's benefit. And I've advised that you list your beneficiaries if you have not done so already. Because if in an unfortunate event when you pass away, it's the beneficiaries that you've listed that we can pay that money that you've left behind to. If you do not list beneficiaries, your beneficiaries would have to go to court and get a letter of administration for payment to be made to them. Now, all the documents that they need to submit is they need to complete a beneficiary withdrawal form. They need to complete a beneficiary withdrawal form with their bank details and their names and sign, and have it endorsed by your immediate supervisor. That's one. Then they attach any proof of death. So proof of death comes in so many folds, which is burial permit, medical report, death certificate, mortuary receipt. All of these things are proof of death. Please, we do not accept obituary. We do not accept obituary or funeral announcements. Then you attach your SNIT payment advice. Before I go on, in the case of Muslims, as I said earlier, you can bring a police report and a sworn affidavit by your imam, your chief imam. A sworn affidavit by your imam. That only applies to the Muslims. So after which you attach a letter from GES indicating that the person used to be a member of GES or a staff of GES and has passed away. Or after you've done that, you scan all these documents and you send it to our WhatsApp number, which can be found in the link tree, or our email address, which can also be found in the link tree. Or you can take it to any Glyco pension office, or you can bring it to our office in Accra. Any of them will do well to assist you on that. And it takes a maximum of 90 days for payment to be made. Another thing is that if you do not list beneficiaries, you'd have to write a consent letter or a joint letter indicating the bank account that we should pay your money to, considering the fact that the court does not allocate percentages for each member that they list as a beneficiary. So if you have any further questions, do well to type it in the comment section, or you can type it still in the comment section even after the video has ended. As we are coming to the end of my presentation today, you can equally type in the topics that you want us to talk about next year, which is January 2023. Remember that we'll have this live every month, every third Friday of every month. On that note, I wish you all a very Merry Christmas, and do have a prosperous New Year, and let's be safe out there. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.
For more enquiries, reach us on 059 692 1135 or visit our website at www.gespensions.com.gh.